Hi, Holly here again with Lightseeds Reiki for Animals. I've also been asked quite a bit about how I got into working with animals in healing. Well, I've been running energy, I've been using energy healing for many years in different kinds of formats. But something shifted in me a bit, or should I say, became more focused when I became Reiki attuned a few years ago. And I felt a strong pull to work with animals. You see, all my life I've been very sensitive to animals. We always had pets when I was growing up, multiple pets, and I felt a closer kinship with them than I did humans. So as I grew up, and especially as I got into spirituality and energy healing and holistic healing and all these kinds of things, I felt the drive to offer energy to animals and not just the humans that I'd been working with. I see posts all the time on social media and video snippets and comments all the time, just wherever I go, about animals that feel afraid or have been injured or traumatized or had a surgery perhaps, or were just old and achy. And all of these kinds of cases affected me emotionally more than those situations with humans. Now that may sound callous, and I don't mean it that way. That doesn't mean I care any less about humans. But my tuning in was with animals. And since they so seldom have a voice in our society, I wanted to step up and admit that I could hear them. And I don't mean with my ears, but I mean in energy. So I took a bunch of training, and that's something I will probably continue to do for the rest of my life, because all teachers have a different perspective, just as all practitioners have a different perspective. We all have a different method. We all have a different internal focus system and a different framework that we come from. So when I began to work with animals, I was just overjoyed at how easy it was for me to establish that connection with them. How easy it was for me to feel their energy. One of the first animals that I connected with when I began was an elderly, very elderly cat that belonged to a friend of mine. And I connected with him remotely. I prefer to work remotely because then I'm not distracted by any physicality. I'm solely working on a soul level. And when I connected with this lovely cat, I just felt tired. I knew that he was just tired. He didn't want to be here anymore. And that's fine. Animals have such a different perspective on death. And animals, as do I and many of my associates, understand that this is not all there is in this physicality. And so as I worked with this animal to give him some soothing Reiki, I could feel him even from miles away. I'm working from my office, could feel him relax. I could feel his physicality relax. And I could feel his stress levels from his owner relaxing, because she, of course, was very upset that he seemed so ill. So when we concluded, and I'll go into my process another time, when we concluded, here's my physical description of what I sensed from him. I mean, I felt such a sense of peace from him. And as I checked in with my friend over the next few days, he was not especially more active, but he was eating more, drinking more, and seemed more alert. And then 2 weeks later, I got the call that he had passed away. And I was delighted that I was able to offer him the warmth and comfort and soothing energy of Reiki to allow him that permission to cross over. Now, part of my process is oftentimes getting messages from the animal. I don't consider myself a communicator, but a lot of the times I can get messages either in the energy that I sense or directly. It's like a mental knowing I don't know how to explain that to someone who doesn't have telepathy, but I just know what they're saying. And so in this case, I had known that this lovely cat was just saying I'm tired, and I was able to relay that to his owner. So in those situations where the physicality, the energy, as well as the communications can sync up, when I can sense both, I feel like I'm really offering a good service to my critter clients, and of course to their owners too. And so this is one of my most precious things to do in my life. If you ever have an animal that you feel is in need of anything in the way of holistic healing, I recommend you take a look at my website, lightseedsbyholly.com. You'll see what Reiki's all about, what I'm all about, and how Reiki works in my situation. I welcome your questions. I welcome you to book a session with me for your animal, and let me do what I can to help soothe your animal as well. Thanks for listening.